Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while, things have been very hectic. I've been at university, then I was working, but I am currently home from university for however long. So I thought it might be a good time to get a couple of videos done, and I've had a lot of questions about different resources for self-studying A-level and GCSE actually. So I thought I would make a quick video just with some different resources and also about just some tips about writing essays when you're studying independently, because I find when I studied classics that was one of the hardest things for me. So to begin with, resources. So I can only really speak for essay subjects and also GCSE science because I did like all humanities based A-levels, but I'm sure there's stuff out there for science. I'm pretty sure Senecalearn is quite good for that. But as for the humanities, Tutor2U have some really good videos for sociology. So when I was studying sociology at A-level, most of that was spent in lockdown, and Tutor2U was amazing. Like their summaries, their websites, their videos, absolutely perfect, getting everything, like the core information down. 100% recommend them. And then for further reading, just news articles, reading the books of the sociologists mentioned. There's so much you can do kind of independently in sociology. So I loved reading Paul Willis's Learning to Labour book, really helped me understand his study a lot more. Really allows you to properly analyse it as well when you've read these studies. But to get the basics, get the stuff that you really need for those exams, Tutor2U do cover most topics. And I also find that Prezi, loads of people have made good presentations on there. I like to make my own on there as revision. I don't think any of them are public. I don't know if they still exist because this was a couple of years ago now, but it's a really good revision method. Quizlet as well. I've heard Quizlet is not as good as it anymore, but when I used it, it's really good sometimes. So different schools will teach you different things because you don't need to know absolutely everything on the curriculum. And for the stuff that we weren't taught, I did find a lot of that on Quizlet, and then I'd read into it more myself. For science, GCSE, I used free science lessons, Primrose Kitten as well. Loads of YouTube videos out there. I don't know as well for A-level, but I've heard Senecalearn is quite good. Senecalearn was also quite good for A-level RS, I found. Also just buying the textbooks. So when I self-studied classics, I used a lot from the textbooks. And also JSTOR for further reading. So if I wanted to find some critics that maybe weren't in the textbook, I'd search in the topic, I'd do some reading myself, and honestly, I did well in the exam, so it obviously worked. But also the exam board, again, on their website, they'll have everything listed. They'll point you towards things. They also have mark schemes, past papers, the candidate reports, I pronounced it wrong, but the examiner reports are really good as well. They tend to have practice essays in there, and they comment where people went wrong in essays or when people did well in essays. And reading those can really help guide you with your own essay writing, which kind of leads me into section 2 of this video, which is writing and getting your essays marked if it's an essay-based subject. If it is a STEM-based subject, it's actually a lot easier because it's just a right or wrong answer, and you can just look up the mark scheme and mark these papers yourself. For an essay subject, it's obviously a lot harder because it tends to be graded in bands. So when I self-studied classics, I did actually do it through my school. So my year 13 history teacher actually gave me some PowerPoints. He marked my essays occasionally, but I didn't send him every essay. There were some that I did self-mark, and bearing in mind I did do this after I'd already done my A-levels, so I already had some idea about how the exams worked. But something that I did find really helpful when marking my own essays was to compare against the past paper examples, which again you should find on the exam board website. Sometimes they're listed as exemplar answers, sometimes they are just in the examiner report. And I would kind of look at that and I think, how does mine compare to this? Where have I gone wrong? What could I improve? And that's down to structure, that's down to content, that's down to analysis, evaluation. What am I getting in this essay? What am I missing from this essay? How have the exemplars done it? What differentiates an exemplar from a poorer answer? And comparing these really helps you get some idea about how to write essays yourself. I do also have some videos about sociology essays. I might try and make a part 2 to that at some point, but it has been about 3 years since I did sociology, so I don't 100% remember, so I will have to brush up on that a little bit. Back to different resources you can use. If you can get someone to sort of help you with it, whether that's someone who is studying at school or a teacher, if you're studying maybe in a gap year, 100% would recommend it. My teacher was amazing for giving me these PowerPoints. And obviously I think you can't get everything from a PowerPoint because a lot of these PowerPoints that I was using, you could tell where the lesson would have filled a lot of the information in. But it gives you kind of the skeleton of what is my structure here, what am I learning here? Because sometimes a textbook doesn't really give you that guidance. But if you don't have access to someone, you can still do it through a textbook. So again, JSTOR, really good. Quizlet, really good. Examiner reports, really good. Past papers, really good. Just make sure that you cover everything that is kind of on the examples website that you need to cover. YouTube videos, there's so many for sociology, as I say. There's quite a few for business as well, I think, on YouTube. I'm not entirely sure, I didn't do business, but for English Lit, I think is a bit harder, but it's definitely possible. I think there are summary videos out there, obviously. Getting quotations is very important. Just read around your subject as much as you can. If you can do further reading, if you can read critics' books, 100% really helps. But it's obviously getting the structure of the essay down can be a bit hard. So again, if you can get someone to help with that, ideal. If not, compare yourself against the candidate exemplars. Brilliant. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. It's slightly fueled by the lingering freshers flu. I was literally at university for 4 days and I've come down with freshers flu. I've been home for a week. It's not good, but anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will try to answer as best as I can. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. And I'll see you in the next video.